Hey everybody, this is Matt Rendar. This is a Team Yankee WW3 battle report. 120 points. A U.S. Bradley company versus a T-80 shock company from the Soviet Army. So you can see the layout of the battlefield. We have little towns, some roads somewhere in Europe, Northern Europe. You got some buildings in the center and some roadways and a couple of hills and some forests set up. We were rolling for missions. I forget what mission. I believe it was breakthrough. We had 2 objectives on each deployment zone, and we both had long table edges. We'll be deploying shortly. My army consisted of a headquarters and 2 Bradley platoons, an M1 platoon, some Paladins, 2 Apaches, and some minigun anti-aircraft 113s. So kind of spaced them out. We have the 2 objectives set up. The Apaches I had set hiding, being able to use cover from that building in the center of the table overwatching. As for the Soviets, the T-80 platoons set up in the center. Lots of BMP 2s and 3s. Carnation artillery they had. Just a lot of artillery. You see the BMPs all set up on the hills. The Carnation artillery set up there. You got some anti-aircraft Soviet vehicles. You got some infantry on the objective over there. You got the M1s on the left flank. Bradleys in the center. Those T-80s deploying. Those are some tough armor for the period. Anticipating them coming down the street. So the Apaches flying high. They were ended up being the MVPs for the game. They didn't move pretty much. They were just striking long range on everything. T-80s deployed down the road. Behind these, 4 of them come flying in. Started shooting rockets everywhere. He had a good shield of anti-aircraft everywhere. It was pretty tedious. You could see one of the BMPs got knocked out right in the beginning. One bailed out. So, dropping artillery. His artillery begins to fire. Putting a lot of damage on that forest with that Bradley trying to defend that objective. Behind these swoop in. 2 of them got shot down. T-80s begin shooting. And BMPs on the way, using those oil refineries as cover. My Bradley company deployed, Dragons, everything. Getting ready for these, to make their little blitzkrieg move onto my objective. You hold an objective for 1 turn, the game's over, so it's pretty tense. This whole game was tense. Just a lot of, if you hit, you pretty much destroy. Not too much forgiveness like World War II. Apache's dropping Hellfire missile on the T-80s. And left flank, the M1's moving up using that bridge as cover. Behind these swoop around the table. The last 2 surviving to attack that one objective. As the BMPs push on it, the T-80s start moving up to engage the M1s. A little cat and mouse. Back and forth, each taking cover, maximizing their defense while engaging. A little infantry platoon holding the objective, kind of in the open. You got some recon vehicles. T-80 just got hit by an M1. The Apaches, so many targets. The Soviets have so many vehicles on the table. On the right flank, the BMPs, making their push. The infantry platoon holding on. Everybody's exchanging fire back and forth. Doesn't help that the 2 INDs are flying high above. T-80s firing. Taking out an M1 finally. Boom. Holding on. Bradley's dismounting their infantry racing into these houses, setting up their Dragon anti-tank missiles, making a strong point in the middle of the board. BMP's taking a ton of casualties. The teams are starting to deploy, and they're just trying to get across this road to that objective. Flaming wrecks everywhere. Soviet soldiers on the move. The T-80s are taking some hits, but they're still pushing through. The Apaches had so much stuff shot at them. I'm amazed they survived. Just holding out. I was rolling some good dice rolls, thank God. Soviet infantry holding the objective. Hind-D's just been shot out of the sky. T-80s holding still. Get one. Russian infantry racing under gunfire from U.S. infantry and Bradleys. Apaches continuing the fire. Some Frog aircraft flying, Soviet flying in, strafing running. Russian infantry and the surviving BMPs continue to push up the hill. The remnants of the U.S. forces, they are getting shot to pieces. The Bradleys are taken out and retreated. Got the XO and the CO driving on the left flank behind the M1 platoon, trying to get up that road to that objective. One M1 makes a bold move, takes out one of the little scout vehicles. Infantry in the center is dug in. Apache still flying Overwatch. BMP is starting to take casualties. The last remaining Dragon missile teams in the buildings and in that forest firing into them. Completely bloody. T-80s, man, tough nut to crack. So my Bradleys from the center going in to help reinforce that infantry platoon that's dismounted in the woods. M1 makes a bold move. He's cruising up that dirt road. Soviet planes come flying in. The XO and the CO of the company are moving up a little bit, trying to take some cover. Soviet fighters nuke that M1. That's the end of that platoon. Apache's flying high. Hellfire missile. T-80s backing up a little bit, protect that objective. Carnation artillery still dropping artillery. T-80s getting shot up. Carnation's still rocking and rolling. Covering that Soviet advance. The Soviets almost on the objective, fighting the last Americans off. The company commander and another T-80 maneuvering a little bit more, get some better shots. Trying to defend that flank on the left objective. It's getting a little dangerous. My artillery is getting pinned, shooting at close range, trying to defend that objective. Because if they hold that objective for one turn, the game's over. BMPs and Bradleys duking it out. Last remnants of Soviets. The Apaches turn their fire onto them, trying to hold them off that objective. My anti-aircraft 113s race up the center, trying to get to the objective. This ends up being a big mistake. T-80s back up. Suicidal for those 113s. T-80s roll up on them. Everybody races off to the side. XO gets killed in his Bradley. The CO backs up. Yeah, all those 113s got nuked. The T-80s turned their attention to them and blew them to pieces. Bradleys are getting hammered. This fight on that hill is insane. The T-80 got nuked. Right flank objective is a mess. Contested. Infantry still hiding out in those buildings in the middle of the board. The left flank is like impossible. I just have my CO there. One of the 113s made it through to the objective. It's about to get shot off though. Apache's flying support. That objective is a complete mess. Close. Infantry routed. U.S. infantry boogied, and got some Soviet infantry there, and the Bradleys fighting it out. The battlefield is covered in tons of understrength platoons. The left flank objective on the Soviet side is like unattainable. I just have my CO left. The CO of the Soviets is protecting his objective. My 109 artillery actually leave their positions and start moving up at close range to engage those BMPs, and they're starting to bail out as the BMPs are lighting up into them. The Carnation artillery are about to make a move. Oh, my CO's Bradley's making a run for the objective, but there's so much Soviet infantry with RPGs dug in. The BMPs are forced off and destroyed. The 109s, those artillery, the gun bunny guys, they rolled up and were able to shoot 50 cals into them. My CO is tangling with the Soviet infantry, the remnants of them, but it's pretty dangerous with all those Bradleys there. I mean, RPGs there. 113. The CO made a run for it. So this game ran its time. That's the rest of those BMPs. So ran out of turns. The game was considered a draw. We both called it bloody on both sides. Very tense game. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick battle report. Team Yankee's a great game by Battlefront. Till next time.